Cógeme esto de...
Llama a la policía, Timoto.
Dame a... Sí, mira, estoy grabando. Ven aquí.
Sí, estás en directo, ¿eh? Bueno, muchísimas gracias, Marta, ¿eh? Y bueno, tu actuación es, dice, qué valiente, dice Cándido, pero yo insisto, siempre muchísima prudencia, porque es lo que recomienda siempre la policía. Evidentemente, mantener todas las pertenencias cerca, no descuidarlas, y luego intentar no encararse a personas que, oye, no sabes cómo pueden reaccionar.
So let me get this straight. A female news reporter is literally robbed and threatened on live television, and the TV station in Spain literally blurs out the African migrant doing it. Yeah, betas. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name's Luke Radowski here of wearechange.org, and there's some absolutely crazy, wild, bewildering news to get into today, as, of course, the situation is not all right, especially when it comes to some of the American youth that definitely do not want to join the U.S. military that is trying to start more geopolitical conflicts, as, of course, it's almost now assured that there definitely will be a major geopolitical American clash point coming ahead of us that there's absolutely no avoiding. We're going to be talking about that, plus all the latest news here on this independent media broadcast. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing, you could get it on TheBestPoliticalShirtsDotCom. And the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast was originally highlighted by @endwokeness that played this 2-minute bewildering clip from Spanish national television with them essentially protecting a man who was abusing, hurting, and stealing from a woman. This, as of course, Spain has implemented a lot of open border policies in its country. Throughout the years, many people have warned them that there's going to be some significant consequences because of this, and now they're dealing with those consequences as the United States looks to replicate a lot of those very same divisive and horrible policies that lead to tremendous human suffering here in the United States, specifically New York City, where the mayor there just issued an emergency executive order restricting bus arrivals of migrants after a couple months ago saying, hey guys, come on in, we're a sanctuary city. Yesterday, he literally said, we will provide food, shelter, money, and other incentives for people who come here, literally telling them, hey, we're going to give you everything you want. And now, today, he's complaining that there's too many people that are taking him up on his offer. And holy frickin' cow, what did you expect was going to happen here? As now, New York City might be following Chicago's lead and impounding buses using executive state action as these democratic liberal bastions that have declared themselves sanctuary cities are now blaming the Biden administration for these actions that are, of course, draining a lot of their resources. This, as an estimated 161,000 migrants have entered New York City since 2022. This, according to the official tally, as of course the unofficial tally, probably a lot bigger. Chicago received 25,000 according to the official tally, and again, the numbers are probably a lot bigger, as New York City is reporting that they are struggling feeding and housing a lot of these individuals, and with free food and free housing, with more New York City taxpayer dollar resources being wasted away. Why isn't someone asking the question, why are we doing this? And by doing this, you of course incentivize more people to come on in, and there you have a perfect representation of failed democratic leadership that creates a problem and then complains about the problem that they created. This, as in Germany, a government-funded charity is using teenage schoolgirls in order to attract migrants into their country. This specifically being the Welsh Refugee Council that is funded by the Welsh government partly, that literally portrayed a video of girls, children, wearing school uniforms that were talking about the virtues of charity services to migrants. Advertisements that are literally displayed to the general public as the insanity has reached new levels in Europe, especially in places like in Germany, where leftist politicians are literally arguing that migrants are, quote, entitled to looting and stealing from grocery stores, and that anyone who complains about it is, quote, racist. These are actual stories, actual headlines in Regensburg, where a crook was stealing alcohol, and the person trying to speak out against it is being deemed a racist. This, as in other parts of the world, they're moving away from leftist, democratic, socialistic, big central top-down government styles, as in Argentina. The new anarchist libertarian president there, Javier Milei, just announced that he laid off 5,000 government workers, making dramatic cuts to the big, bloated, bureaucratic state in Argentina, laying off many drivers, many workers that, according to him, were an absolute huge waste to the taxpayer. Actually doing something in recorded history that's very rare, and that is limiting the power of the state over individuals. This, as his actions are actually being met with protests for some reason, as he is still moving forward with major cuts to ministries, government agencies, government contractors, government stolen properties, and more importantly, cut the ministries of women, of gender and diversity, as well as social development and education, highlighting a larger end to big fat bureaucratic government policies that, of course, take away life, liberty, and people's ability to have any kind of pursuit of happiness. If only we had that here in the United States, and of course we do not. We have Republicans that are an absolute poor excuse for themselves, that are pathetic, that are yellow-bellied, that are just as bad when it comes to inflating, indebting, and destroying this nation from the inside. This, as Colorado Republicans have now just officially appealed the decision by the Supreme Court there to disqualify Trump from the ballot, as there's going to be a lot of very contentious legal proceedings ahead of us, as John Fetterman, the U.S. Senator from Pennsylvania, is deciding to get involved in this political race, recently telling people who criticized Joe Biden for essentially being a senile old man to, quote, shut the F up. This, as personally myself, I would love and adore a Biden-Fetterman 2024 ticket. Kamala? Really unpopular. Still extremely unpopular. Get John Fetterman in there. And that's why I created BidenFetterman.com, an actual website with tweets that have blown up. We also have a shirt commemorating this absolutely incredible political dynasty that we need to happen immediately. Again, BidenFetterman.com is an actual website. It's our website. Check it out, and you get to be a part of the larger kind of meme magic that we all have available to you, as a lot of this magic is portrayed on t-shirts. T-shirts that you could only get on TheBestPoliticalShirtsDotCom. We have a lot of different shirts, a lot of different styles. This is one of the best ways that you could get involved in local politics by starting up a conversation at the supermarket, at the bank, at farmers market, at your local farm, hopefully wearing political messages that get people thinking, as of course there are some shirts here that we cannot show you here on this particular platform. We have a lot of them. We have a lot of really funny them. We have a lot of really incredible people that actually take photos of themselves wearing the shirts, and then they post it on TheBestPoliticalShirts.com. To do that, by the way, just go to info@wearechange.org. We would love to highlight more incredible individuals who are saying they are no longer afraid and they're willing to stand behind a political message on their shirts that will get other people thinking, that will get other people politically active and engaged more than ever. You could start your own political journey by doing a lazy form of activism by getting a shirt right now on TheBestPoliticalShirts.com, which also goes towards supporting, expanding, and growing this independent media organization. As of course, we're also going to have another special report available for members of LukeUnfiltered.com. As members also get shirts at cost and limited edition shirts that are only available for members, exclusive shirts, exclusive designs, only available for people who sign up to LukeUnfiltered.com. As of course, you as a member also get to call into our live show. We did a live show yesterday that did really well. We have another live show planned this Friday, 2 p.m. with Gary, the numbers guy, which is going to be pretty interesting to say the least. That show, plus a lot of shows that you get to participate in, that you get to ask questions to our guests directly, all by becoming a member of LukeUnfiltered.com. See you there for a special broadcast right after this video, as of course we are still not done here, as the situation for the United States military empire is very tumultuous, as even The Guardian wrote a very interesting article today titled, quote, "Sitting on a powder keg, the U.S. braces for a year and an election like no other," specifically bringing up a very tumultuous election cycle that a lot of people expect to get totally out of hand. I do as well, as of course internationally there are a lot of very important policies at stake here that will be playing a major central role that some countries might be trying to take advantage of before the next transition of power that is supposed to be happening in Washington, D.C. Now, will this transition of power actually happen? I'm doubtful. I explained why I'm doubtful almost a year ago, as of course internationally there's a lot of crazy things happening in this world, including North Korea and Kim Jong-un just ordering its military and local population to prepare for a war with, quote, anti-imperialist countries. Now, what country is an anti-imperialist country? Well, of course, there have been a lot of tensions between North Korea and the United States. Russia is closely aligned with North Korea, and it might be advantageous for Russia to try to provoke North Korea in order to spread out American resources and energy when it comes to, of course, maintaining its hegemony on the world stage. This, as the United States is already directly under attack, as it has sent significant military hardware over to Yemen, where they have been targeted with drone attacks. As we are getting the latest reportings from CBS News that is quoting anonymous Pentagon officials that are telling us that a U.S. destroyer just shot down 14 drones that were launched at it at the Red Sea from Yemen. This, as reporting from Politico, is detailing how $2 million missiles are literally being used to take down $2,000 drones, as of course these latest attacks highlight an ever so changing dynamic when it comes to conventional war that is definitely being represented in many different ways, as of course unconventional warfare is something that I believe we are going through right now. Fifth generational warfare, psychological warfare, I think already is at play here, as the Daily Mail today released this article detailing alleged U.S. Army stunning images showcasing military life in 2023. This, of course, is probably an advertisement paid for by the U.S. Pentagon that is using images like this, and this trying to sell recruitment that is at an all-time low. As of course, the majority of the American youth are not qualified physically and mentally to be inside of the U.S. military. A lot of them, psychologically, do not view the U.S. military and its hegemony and its empire in a favorable light. And according even to Daily Mail's own polls, a significant portion of young people favor the larger geopolitical opponents who represent resistance against the U.S. empire. And with images like this, will they be able to, of course, get a bigger recruitment run? No. I mean, these images are interesting, sure. Will this be used to, of course, actually make an impact when it comes to recruitment, as now white guys are returning back to advertisements? Finally, for the first time in a very long time? No, it absolutely won't work, as the psychological war against the youth of this nation is very serious and something that, of course, we should be having a real conversation about, and we're not doing that at all. As of course, the latest U.S. military empire expenditures inside of Afghanistan and now Ukraine have been proven to be very costly, not just for the United States, but for the local populations of those countries that absolutely feel used and thrown away, as we even have mainline corporate media now trying to cope with the significant loss of Ukrainian territory that it will have to succeed to the Russian Empire. As we have articles like this titled, "Ukraine doesn't need all of its territory to defeat Putin," in a very bewildering, wild kind of 4D chess kind of explanation here that doesn't really add up to anything. This, as we have sociopathic, insane individuals in Washington, D.C., that even after these failed adventures in Afghanistan and Ukraine and Libya and Syria, Iraq, also a total wasteland right now, after totally failing the American people, American interests, and of course the local populations that were used here, there's still sociopathic, crazy individuals that want more of this. Those individuals, of course, being people like Lindsey Graham, that just said this on national television.
I've been saying for 6 months now, hit Iran. They have oil fields out in the open. They have the Revolutionary Guard headquarters you can see from space. Blow it off the map.
Yeah. Worship Lucifer. Just put that child in front of Moloch. Yeah, just sacrifice it. Yeah, totally cool. Insane rhetoric from dangerous, insane people that are absolutely, deliberately sabotaging America, its interest, and its people. This, as a Dutch army chief just came out a couple moments ago and is telling the local population in the Netherlands to, quote, prepare for war with Russia. Russia, that is becoming the most nuclear prepared nation on earth, and is literally preparing their local populations for massive, all-out, full frontal war that they have been mobilized for. And as history dictates, the Russians always start off their military conflicts in a not very advantageous way, but once the Russian war machine kind of gets started, it's almost impossible to virtually start, especially with all the manpower and resources that Russia has, as it is also telling its people to repopulate, to have children. Here in the Western world, we're told the opposite of that, and we're told, don't worry, we'll just import people and promise them free food and housing. Yeah, how is this not deliberate sabotage? I don't understand. If you have an argument against me, let me know down in the comment section below. But for me, everything that's happening right now is deliberate. It is against the American people, against America's interests, against the future of this country, which is at stake here because politicians have sold you out. Again, everything is being done here to destroy America from within. Prove me wrong in the comments section below. Might be the least commented video that we ever do, because I don't see any other way. Do you see any other way? Let me know. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys actively watching and subscribing. We have another report ready for you right after this video on LukeUnfiltered.com. That conversation, more of an earnest, honest one. Check it out right now by clicking the link and becoming a member. And we are doing another 2-hour live podcast this upcoming Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern, here on this channel. Stay tuned for that, plus a lot more. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys, and this is why I love you guys. See you right now on LukeUnfiltered.com.